Strength training for women over 50 changes during menopause. If you've ever had that moment when you finish a workout and you think, why did that wipe me out so much? Hey, that is not in your head. I get it. I have been there too. Something actually shifts after menopause. And today I'm going to show you what changed and why that old training style may be backfiring now so you can feel strong tomorrow. Hey there, I'm Cam Allen, and this channel is for women over 50 who are done guessing about fitness and menopause. You want clear and simple ways to get strong and actually feel good. So, for decades, estrogen buffered or hid a lot of things for you. It influenced how your body handled stress. And when you reach postmenopause, estrogen's buffer is gone. You see, estrogen when we were younger supported our muscle repair. It helped regulate inflammation so we weren't so inflamed. It played a role in how we process our blood sugar from food that we eat and stressful thoughts that we think. And I love talking about the nervous system. It also helped control your nervous system. So here's the deal. When estrogen declines in menopause, the world does not suddenly get more stressful, even though it feels like it. What's really changing is your buffering system, your estrogen protection has changed. That same workout now costs way more in recovery, way more to your nervous system load, and sometimes it even means more inflammation. That's why strength training after 50 can feel heavier, even though the weight didn't change. Strength training for women over 50 has to account for less estrogen and a different hormonal makeup. Here's what many women experience, but they don't realize that the estrogen is connected to how their workouts feel. Workouts that used to make you feel energized make you feel wiped out now. Maybe you're sore for 3 days instead of 1 day. Maybe you notice that your sleep is even more edgy, like sleeping through the night is not as easy. Maybe you feel more inflamed, like a bloated belly, instead of being strong and capable. Listen, that is not about motivation. That is the total load or burden on your body. And we have less stress tolerance because we don't have the estrogen protecting us. Believe me, the answer is not more cardio. Definitely not punishing yourself for something because your hormones changed. But it's really easy to slip into diet culture and just exercise more and eat less because that was the formula we were taught when we were younger. But now things are different. That advice was built for a different hormonal environment. We are postmenopausal. We are women in midlife. Things are different now. If that helped you understand what's actually happening in your body, please hit subscribe and follow along here. I talk about strength training for women over 50 in menopause every single week. I want to tell you a quick story that made this really real for me. I went through surgical menopause in December of 2018. I didn't have a slow runway. There was no gradual ovary retirement party that usually happens like 8 to 10 years. It was one day I was functioning with my hormones and I had ovaries, and then the next day I didn't. The difference in how my body handled stress and training was felt immediate. First of all, lots of tears and lots of confusions for weeks and months after a surgery. Once I healed from surgery and returned to the gym, I thought, here I go. I'm just going to be the same old. I'm not going to age. Guess what? Workouts that I could easily tolerate before suddenly felt like too much. And I really noticed my recovery changed. Also, I was inflamed. Like if I had a stressful day, my belly literally felt more bloated. About 5 months after my surgery, I had this very strange rash on my face. My histamine response was through the roof. It was like my nervous system had less margin overnight. That room for error on all the jerky things I did when I was younger to myself, it was completely gone. Now I want you to compare that to natural menopause. With natural menopause, there's like this 10-ish year transition. Sometimes your estrogen's high and you have a hot flash, and sometimes it's low. Sometimes you have a menstrual cycle and you make progesterone, and sometimes you don't. So perimenopause, that 10-year ovary retirement party, is slow. Things are slowly changing. That buffering system declines gradually. And then you go a year without a period, and then boom, you're in postmenopause. Many women do not notice it clearly because it's not as loud as before surgery and after surgery. However, the end result is exactly the same. you have less wiggle room. There's less buffering. You are more sensitive to the total stress load that your body is feeling. About a year postmenopause, I decided to test something. There was this CrossFit workout called Nancy, one of my favorite, 5 rounds for time. So go as fast as you can. You did a 400-meter run followed by 15 overhead squats. So you're running hard, you come into the gym, you're out of breath, and you're asked to pick up a weight and balance it over your head and then squat. It's very athletic and it's very demanding. And again, it was one of my favorite workouts. It was the kind of workout that would make me feel really powerful. Part of my brain said, "Yeah, you can still do this, Cam. You're athletic. You can handle this." And I felt really good that particular day. I went through my normal checks. I slept, I ate, I was hydrated, I was ready to go. And the sun was out and it was one of those beautiful warm December days. So part of me was like, yeah, my old exercise identity was ready to go. That version of me was the one that pushed through, who prided herself on grit, who felt strong if I was on the floor in a puddle of sweat at the end of the workout. So during the workout, I felt really good. I felt strong. My running was good. I'm like, wow, I haven't run like this in a long time. But what happened after was this huge wake up call. The exhaustion I felt was not normal. It was not normal soreness. It was not normal fatigue. It was just like complete exhaustion. I was couch bound for days. And it was also December. So both of my adult kids were in town. And I remember like pushing through to like get up and be joyous that they were home because like that was like part of my life. I loved having them around. However, I overdid it in the gym. My sleep was off. My energy was in the toilet. My nervous system felt fried. And I like had to push myself to get up and move and be like the happy mom because I was the happy mom. They were home. That was the moment that I literally realized something really important. I couldn't train like that anymore because the bill that showed up, it cost me everything. It cost too much. Menopause had completely reduced my margin for that kind of workout. Even though my brain said, you can do it, go Cam, you got this. The aftermath wasn't worth it. I had to grieve that old identity once again because strength training over 50 is not about proving that you can still train like you did when you were in your 30s or in your 40s. Really, it's about training in a way that allows you to feel strong tomorrow so you can get off the couch or out of bed and like actually enjoy your life. Exercise should enhance your life. And that's the part that most programs fit, or trainers that are really young and don't get women in midlife. They keep telling you, just push through. But pushing through without adjusting for the recovery is exactly what creates the burnout. Maybe you've noticed weird injuries. Maybe you've noticed weight gain in menopause, even though you've been doing the same things. The biggest mistake I see women over 50 making is trying to train like they did when they were younger. And that looks like doing more intensity like I did, or more volume, more reps, more frequency, more days in the week. But menopause, listen, I need you to hear this. Menopause rewards precision, not the punishment that we used to do to ourselves. So now your nervous system has less wiggle room. Intelligent strength training becomes part of the clear stimulus to your body. Hey, get strong. I need you. Let's go. And making sure you have enough recovery and make sure you progressively overload. So that means each day, check with yourself. Is this heavy enough to really change my muscles? That means challenging your muscles without the chaos or the exhaustion that comes after. For most women over 50, strength training looks like 2 or 3 full body sessions, or I love right now daily 10-minute sessions designed into a program that adds up to about 60 minutes a week. 60 minutes a week seems to be a good amount to get enough reps in to keep your muscles and your bones strong and allow your body to recover so you can actually like enjoy life. So consistency matters way more than cramming volume into one single workout. When you lift, using the science of strength training, not 10 random exercises you found on YouTube and you just did it until you were exhausted. That doesn't work anymore. You need some intentional recovery days. You need some shorter sessions done consistently. That's why structured, short strength workouts work so well for women over 50. One, it gets your brain like you have time and energy for 10 minutes. So it helps your brain get on board. And then your body's like, yeah, I can do this. That wasn't so bad. And you show up again tomorrow. You can stimulate your muscles without like this overwhelming recovery, like I did when I did the workout, Nancy. You leave the workout feeling like you worked, but you don't feel like you wrecked yourself. If your body feels less tolerant of exercise lately, you're not failing. You are hormonally different. You are adapting to this new hormonal landscape of midlife. Strength training after menopause can absolutely build muscle, improve your bone density, support your metabolism, help with your blood sugar, all the health markers. And you just got to respect this new stage that you're in. So here's the summary. Menopause changed your buffering system and your bandwidth for stress. Recovery matters more now. Intensity must be strategic. Short, consistent strength sessions beat long, exhausting ones every single day of the week. So when it comes to strength training for women over 50 who are in menopause, the goal is not to push harder. It is to train in a way that matches what your body is asking for now. I've got a video breaking down what actually works now that your body has changed in menopause, especially when it comes to strength training. I've got that linked right here. And next week, I'm going to walk through exactly how to start strength training after 50 safely and effectively. So if you're a woman over 50, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. We are just getting started here. I'll see you next week.